White shirts on the pitch, running fast through the night. Every heart beating loud under floodlit sky bright. So to London, stand strong, in the stands they belong. Voices echo like thunder, to the club they sing along. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. King's fire in his eyes, glory's what he seeks. With every goal he flies, rising to new peaks. From the lake to far and wide, we're the pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. The pride of the fight. On this journey we'll ride, with our passion burning bright. Up in Spurs we arise, eyes on the prize. Victory in sight with all our might. With all our might. With all our might.
Good evening and welcome to Tottenham Hotspur Till I Die show. I'm Kermit the Frog.
What you talking about, Philip? Gary, what was his name? Do you remember Gary Coleman from that show?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
What you talking
This is
about?
the show. This is the show for all Tottenham fans that are deluded like me. Yeah, man. Yeah. I'm a deluded Tottenham fan. Not without voice, you're not. Anyway, good evening and welcome to your ship season. Tied the home of Tottenham past, present, and the exciting future. We think
Maybe
under Ange Postecoglou or some other manager. Nothing surprised me about this club. Nothing does. Of course, joining me tonight on this is our transfer window a joke. It is. It's a funny joke. It's that funny. The Achilles fell off his chair twice laughing about it.
At least. Is that,
I fell
Wayne's
off the chair.
Wayne's asking, is that Kermit the Frog? Was that Kermit the Frog?
No, it wasn't. It was just no voice. So. I like gonna pie. I'm good. I'm real good. Now without pushing that. Yeah. So is it a joke? Yeah. The answer is yes. I'm going to ask the question: is Levy and Lang not going to buy any more players? I'm going to sack Ange at the end of the transfer window. Is that what they're waiting for? We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk a little bit about the Hoffenheim game tomorrow. Where does it leave Tottenham? What do they need to do? We've got a little bit from the press conference as well about Papasana out. And then we've got the predicted lineup from Carl, from myself, Colin, and Tequila as well. Boris's predicted player threat show is going out at 10 o'clock tonight. So do give that. It's very short. We are going to make it a 5-minute. He's going to make it 5 minutes from now on, guys. And it will be a bit longer, so please give that a like and subscribe. The predicted lineup that I normally do for you guys will be included in this show, so I've just really ran out of time, to be fair. I'm being honest with you. I ran out of time. Haven't been well, haven't felt well, but I've just run out of time. So, Tequila, how are you before we get into the chat? How are you today, sir?
I'm okay. Spoke a bit earlier about this, about how it is hard to do these shows sometimes. Not because we don't enjoy doing the shows, more it's just like I'm not sure stuff's going to change, at least in the short term, anyway. So it's like I'm at the point, Dermo, where I'm nearly asking to fast forward to the season. If it wasn't for the League Cup, right, I'd be more or less saying I know we're still in the FA Cup. I know,
yeah.
I know we're still in the Europa League, but I feel like I'm hanging all my hopes on the League Cup, because that's the realistic one. That's the one where we are actually in the
Mm.
semi-finals, right, with a slight lead. If it wasn't for that, I'd be like, can we just put me in cryo sleep, right, like you do in sci-fi films, and then wake me up
Wake
in
you up when
wake me up in
September
June.
ends.
Yeah. When it comes
Yeah.
to Spurs,
No,
wake me up in June, because obviously we're not going to do anything in the league. I still don't think we're going to be relegated, but we're not going to do anything in the league. So the whole league is more or less a washout now. So it just leaves really the Carling Cup for me, whatever it's called.
I went through that against AC when we lost under Conte before he got sacked, and I actually found doing these shows very therapeutic, actually, in a way, because it was nice to be around fans that were going through the same thing. And look, this is my job. This is how I earn. This is how we earn money. This is how gives me this is my job, basically. This is what I do for a living. So I have to do it. And sometimes you do feel, do I have to talk about Tottenham today? But you do. And you do go through it. And I've been through where you are. And yeah, it does get tough. But I just have to keep doing it, and we will get there in the end. And that's the thing. But I get it where you're coming from. You're spot on in what you said. It's tough. It's hard at the moment. It is hard. And it's not going to get easy. It's not going to get any better either. That's the problem.
Well, plus, you kind of feel powerless as well. See, there's an argument going around from other channels, and again, I'm not naming channels. I'm not getting involved in that crap. Where they kind of say, like, we can do stuff as fans. It's one of those things there. You need so many numbers to really make a difference, right? And the difference is obviously to do with protesting inside the stadium. But unless that happens, unless you can get thousands of people to do it, not hundreds, you need thousands, Domo. Then
that ain't gonna happen.
No, and so we can't do much as individual fans. What can we do? We're powerless to do anything, and that, at least for me personally, that's one of the worst feelings in the world, is to feel powerless about the situation. Yeah, it's a feeling I can't stand. But there we are.
Yeah, I know. You look at United and the way their fans come together against the Glazers. Never forced the Glazers out, by the way, and I think they're regretting now getting Ratcliffe in now as well.
Doesn't
you look at Newcastle. No, how many years did they protest against? What was his name?
Mike Ashley.
Mike Ashley.
Yeah.
They got him out in the end, but he only went when he got the right price. Levy will only leave once he gets right money.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And in one way, you can't blame him for that. They're an investment company.
It's business.
It's business, yeah. It's like if somebody bought us out, we wouldn't go unless we got the value we value this channel at.
Yeah, there's
£1.50.
The thing is, even if there was like a coup or whatever, and there was a high number of fans wanting Levy out, yeah, it might make Levy uncomfortable, but he's still not gonna just if you think making him uncomfortable, and then somebody's gonna come in and lowball him on an offer, and he's just gonna go, well, the fans don't like me, so I'm just gonna take a lowball offer for the club. You're joking, aren't you? You ain't gonna ever do that. He's still gonna want his 5 billion or whatever they value it. They're still going to want that, even if the fans rebel or not. It might speed up the process, because he might be more open. He might be more willing to sell the club outright, but he's still going to take a massive offer. So you've got to wait for the right person, whoever that person is, to come in. I don't know who the person is.
He's not going to sell the club outright. He's going to wait until he won't sell the business side of it. He's making billions out of the business side of it. The hotel. Why would he sell all the property stuff he's doing? You'd be mad. The best we can hope for is that somebody could come in and push him to the outside regarding completely leave the football side alone, like the 100%. Just go away, focus on your building your hotels, fine, but you completely rid yourself of any responsibility regarding the football side of the club, because he still hasn't done it, even though he's hired Munn and he's hired Lange and everything. You can still see his footprints all over it. You can still see it. Look, do we want a situation what's happening at United at the moment? Probably not.
Really.
No. So there's an old saying, bet with the devil than better the devil you don't. Do you know what I mean? The
Mhm.
grass is not always green at the other side. And that's the thing. That's the problem. That is the problem we're at the moment. It's we want change. We want new people in, but will that give you the success? Will that give you the promise of trophies? And what happens if it doesn't? What happens if it's 10 times worse than what we've already got now? And that's the issue you're facing, isn't it? You don't know if anybody comes in, what's going to end up in the next 5-10 years. So,
No, I mean, I'm willing to take the punt, but not everyone might not be. I'm willing to take the punt because he's had 25 years, and that's
yeah,
longer than anyone needs.
I've been there before. We were there. The owners before Scholar were owners since the 40s.
Yeah.
And then Scholar took over, and then nearly bankrupt the club. So I've been there before when new owners have come in and they've totally balls things up. So I've probably seen the where you haven't experienced that.
No, I've only experienced one ownership. All I know is Enoch.
Yeah, so thankfully you haven't. I've seen the rise, the fall, and the rise at Tottenham again, and that's the thing. So if you look at United, for an example, everyone declared Ratcliffe as the new Messiah. Somebody's going to take Man United on, and it hasn't worked. They got. I think somebody from Bahrain wants to buy. He's a Man United fan. Wants to buy the club outright and pay off all the debts. I mean, and they go with Ratcliffe, and they've totally balls things up, made things 20 times worse. So where I get it, people want Levy out. I do. I want Levy out as well. I've had my watershed moment, and I think he needs to go for the good of the club. I just don't know where we are when it comes to our manager, because where I'm angry about the last couple of performances, and I get where you are, you're Ange out completely. I'm more.
I am now. I wasn't at the start of the season, but I am now.
No, I'm more probably want something to get behind, if you know what I mean. I know he's not going to change. He's not going to improve. We're not going to get relegated. We're not going to get relegated. Anyone says we are is talking nonsense. We're not getting relegated. We're not in a good place. I'll admit that. Our league position is woeful. We have got a hell of a lot of injuries, more injuries, people dropping out today, which we'll go into later for Hoffenheim. And this is the problem, though. The club are not helping Ange. And this is why I'm asking, our transfer window is a joke. We've brought in one player, one goalkeeper, but we haven't bought any outfield players. Their reason, Tequila, for not bringing any centre-backs in because we've got two of them coming back from injury. I mean, how stupid is that? Did they think we're a tick or something?
Well, okay, so we are going to differ a little bit here. It's a difficult one because I don't see, and even if Ange survives the season, which he very much could do, because it's like, Levy still haven't pulled the trigger, and I'm not sure what it will take. I know there's a lot of people saying he's waiting until the end of the transfer window. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure he is. I think he might stick with Ange for the whole season and then make a change. I'll be very surprised if Ange Postecoglou is our manager come the start of next season.
I would be too, actually.
It wouldn't surprise me if he actually does last this season. And then we end up finishing most likely. Well, I reckon once we get some of our better players back, especially our defenders, we'll probably rise a couple of places. We ain't getting Europe. We're not. Unless we win a cup, we ain't getting Europe. But I can see us finishing between 9th and 12th. I can see us finishing at the end, by the end of the season. I can see us. I do think that our form will improve once we get, basically what I'm being, okay, right. Once we get Van der Ven back, it's not even about Romero. Honestly, it's about Van der Ven because his recovery pace saves us. And it's no joke that as soon as he goes down, just like it was last year, as soon as that one player, and it sucks that we're so reliant on one player, by the way. It's like the reverse Harry Kane. Kane's gone, who we used to rely upon so much. Now we have to rely upon Van der Ven so much for his recovery pace. because he's the one player who's really got that in his locker. So soon, if you're not noticed, as soon as he goes down, we completely go off the rails. As soon as that one player is out. So that's where we're at. But as soon as that player comes back, we'll pick up points and we'll probably finish, like I say, probably 10th or something. So we're completely relying on the cups. So I don't think he's going to be here next year, dude. And that's why I think we're not buying anyone. That doesn't mean we can't do loans, but that's why we're not. That's why we're not buying anyone.
Then why come out and say we're backing him? Backing him with what? Backing him with words?
Loans.
Backing him with
loans. We'll bring in a couple of players on loan. They might be options to buy. But this is why we probably didn't go full in for the PSG winger, was because they wanted an obligation, and because Levy got it in his mind like, well, I'm not sure Andy's going to be here next year, so I'm not going to spunk 50 million on this player when we're going to be changing managers again. I'd like to think that Levy learned his lesson from players like Porro. Porro's a great player, but he was bought for Conte, and Conte only had him for 60 days, like I said. Think about that for a second. Think how crazy.
Well, Conte never wanted to be here in the first place. Let's put it that way. Conte was here for himself.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. The point I'm making is that the player was bought for Conte's system, and Doggy was brought in for Conte's system. And Doggy never played a minute under Conte. Conte was gone before Doggy joined the club permanently. So
yeah, I know. I get it. Well, let's get into the chat. Then we're going to go over a few bits and pieces. Yeah, we've got loads in the chat again, so big up to everyone. Please hit the like button. Do hit the subscription button if you can, and the notification bell for more shows. Big up Steve R. He says, not our Dermo. With a wink and the tongue out. Sounds something Shakespearean, that. No, not our Dermo. Big up to John 071. Tottenham's transfer window have always been a joke on the Renit. You can say that again. Big up to Chill Music as well. It's so obvious that Levy and Lang are waiting to sack Ange after the transfer window. Thank God. And he also says here, so Alf Ramsey, of course, a former England and Tottenham player as well, was born on this day in 1920. In 1949, Ramsey was almost an ever-present during our promotion season of 49-50, which we won the league. And then on our first division winning season 12 months later in 50-51. Also played in that team was Bill Nick as well, Tequila. He was in that side as well. So both managers went on to be very successful. One for England and one for Tottenham.
Yeah.
There you go. A little bit of a fact for you. And also, I think he managed Ipswich, for a while as well. If I'm right, Alf Ramsey. Yeah, I think he did. Little fact for you. Big up to Wayne Bonner. Good evening, everyone. Hope you're well. Looking forward to the game tomorrow.
Wayne, sorry, mate. Send us your email again. I already spoke to him about it earlier, Demo. Yeah, I need him to send the email again, mate. Sorry. It's my fault. It's all on me. I screwed up. Sorry, mate. Go on, continue. Just want Wayne, send us your email again if you can. It's my fault.
Oh, okay. I've done something wrong on the thumbnail, I think.
Where?
Sorry. I don't know. Columns in there. Sorry, I think I've done something. Worst Kermit the Frog impression ever. Has Dermot been hitting the helium balloons again? No, I'm not. I just like talking like this. It's great. It's Levy's fault. It's Levy's fault that I'm talking like this. We are Spurs TV. Big up, Dermot.
And I know what com means. Com, I can't edit that, mate. I edited the title, but I can't.
I need to redo the thumbnail. I do it after the show.
I can't
Sorry,
edit the text on
it is my own fault. Sorry, I realised.
It's not, mate. You're dyslexic, mate. It's not your fault.
It's my dyslexia.
Yeah, it's not your fault.
Yeah,
I just can't.
Sorry.
Com, I can't change that, mate. I can only change in the description and the title, which is what I did.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't change the thumbnail.
Big up to We Are Spurs TV. It's 3 Fahrenheit where I drove into work this morning. Oh, that was cold. Did your bollocks drop off? That is cold. Ooh. Big up to Jared. Big night at Parkhead. Dermo, it is always a big night at Parkhead. The lights under when the mighty Celtic play and the lights are on. It's always a big night. Just hope Man United can do us a favour tomorrow and beat Rangers. Didn't realise the transfer window was open. Yeah, it was. It closes in a few days.
The loan window.
Day 22 into it, and And what was I going to say to you? Oh, yeah. I was watching another channel before I came on here, and apparently they said in their show that Angie said in the press conference, we're done in the transfer window. We're not making any signings. That's it. Finished. Finito. That's even more depressing. Chicken hit. Excuses from this board regarding backing Ange. If not, Ange, help him out. The squad who are running on fumes. One big lie after another. Sad that this season is one big joke.
Can't really argue with that, really.
Can't argue with that. Spot on your Shafton. Jared said, no need to buy anyone. Still fighting on all fronts. Plenty of young talent to cover it to the end of the season. Safe as houses. We are, Dermo. Gerard, I believe you. Big up. You can bet ticket prices will go up after this season. Sadly, we'll pay for this. Levy and in it was look. I did. They've got to go. They've got to go. They have to go. Simple as that. Big up Swerve TV. Levy is always most likely to give himself a don't start. Yeah, I know he is. More about Levy and Enoch. Big up to Taken.
Big up Tekken,
Liam
mate.
Neeson. Taken. I need to find them words.
It's a video game, demo. Tekken.
Yeah.
Tekken.
Tekken, yeah. Or is that
video
like
game.
The video game, yeah. Good evening, Tex and Derm. I bought myself a 360 today. I'm going old school again. Well, I didn't buy it.
You bought a 360. You bought a 360.
No, I didn't buy it. It was given to me from my sister. So her young lad was a user. I said I'd have it.
You're going to play Transformers, aren't you, Dermo?
Not saying. Actually, one of the games got me with Superman Returns on it, by the way, and an old Formula 1 2010 and FIFA 2015 as well, which I'm going to might be a bit of fun. How FIFA was back in the day. Good evening, Tex and Dermo. I hope you are both feeling a bit better about things since Sunday. I am actually. I've sort of got to the point now where I've just got to the point now. I'm just taking each game as it comes. I'm going to enjoy. I didn't even bring it up, Colin.
I had no choice, man. I had to bring it up.
Look, I'm just going to enjoy each game as it comes.
It's just who I am.
It's just who we are, mate. I'm just going to see. I think me and Tequila Tequila wants to go into Cryo Chamber into June. I'm just going to take each game as it comes.
Freeze me, bro.
After 25 years of this management, could it get worse? But it also could get better. This group, the definition of success isn't just football; it's profitability, and they are success of making money. Jaro says, "Dermo, where is Mrs. Newcastle investment?" At the moment, I can't say anything. There is stuff out there. It is all happening in the background, but I just can't say nothing. Me and Tequila, and you can back me up in this, Tequila. We're gagged by NDAs, aren't we?
We've got to protect our sources, bro. So
no, we can't. So we have. It's not about protecting our sources. We've both agreed to NDAs. We can't say anything. We could get into a lot of trouble. Our source will definitely get into a lot of trouble. And look, all I can tell you that it's the stuff working in the background. Until we get an update, until I can say what's happening, we just got to keep, it's frustrating because I would love to tell you what we do know, but we can't. And that's really frustrating, isn't it, Tequila, sometimes, because you rarely want to say this is what's happening, but you can't, can you? Because
no, got to keep your mouth shut sometimes.
Yeah, sadly. Wayne Dye, big up Wayne Dye. Levy more interested in the hotel than investing in property. He will not go anywhere as he has got more shares in the club. Big up to Dizzy Too Jizzy or Dizzy Too Jazzy or Daz. What's that?
Dazzy Too Jazzy. Dazzy Too Jazzy.
Right, thank you. We know where we're going under Enoch. So if we did get a new one, we will still go down. What did we lose by trying? That's true. Leeds are 1-0 up against Norwich. That's goalie. Big up to Joe. We've got round table talk. Who's going to loan the players to this club and get injured? That's so true. If you do, don't, Keela, you give us the lowdown for our channel sponsor.
Sorry, I just got a message backstage. Yeah, full-time sports, private internet access, VPN. We're going to play a video later on, Dermo.
Yeah,
We'll play the video for that. Sorry, we're getting a bit of news backstage. One sec.
Yeah, do you want to just go quickly? I'm going to...
Gotta ask.
I'm doing it here. I'm doing it. It's okay. Okay, you're talking to him. Okay. Yeah, I'll do the video now. Actually, that's very good. We'll do it now. Get it done while we're thinking about it. Where is it? Where's the video? I want the video. Right. Press one wrong. Hi guys, this is our channel sponsor. Of course, it is private internet access, and as you can see, Tequila could be talking to our source, and of course, everyone in the house could be seeing what's going on. But he uses the private internet access, which keeps it absolutely secure between him and our source. Nobody gets to see it, not even me. Tequila could be walking down the street in Bedford one day, thinking, do you know what? I'm on the bus. I want to watch a bit of American Netflix, flicks it on, puts it onto his laptop. There you go. And you can see, you can watch it on Prime Video, Apple TV. You can do your banking on it as well. It's as secure as the Bank of England, as secure as Fort Knox. Use it on all. I'm really messing this up. Use it on.
Do not take your phone out in Bedford, by the way. I wanted to quickly add that.
You can use it all on devices from your Xbox to your internet TV. Tequila could use it, and his whole household can use it. Only need one person to do it. It's worldwide, from America to Canada to Australia to South Africa to China. It hides your IP address as well, so nobody knows what you're doing. It also shreds your digital footprint as well, so you can't be followed. It has 30 million subscribers already, and it's got a 4.5 stars on Trustpilot, rated excellent. That is private internet access, the worst ever intro to a channel sponsor you have ever heard in your life. What can we use?
I think he says we can use all of it. So do you want to do it? Do you want me to do it?
I want to ask another quick question before we do.
Okay.
Is the I just want to double check. I just don't want to get anyone into trouble. Who's watching TV while walking in Bedford? Not a lot of people, really.
Don't get your phone. Okay, it's not as bad. It's not as bad as Luton, but still,
no.
I wouldn't take my phone out, especially in town centre.
Luton is Celtic are still 0-0. Colin said, "Oh yeah, big up, Colin." That's for that. It's Levy's fault.
Most things are, Wayne. Most things are.
Right. The latest, Gerard, on the. Go on. You read out the Amanda stuff. Go on. I'll let you do it.
Okay, so from our source, the latest with Amanda, yes, we're on first name basis, if you didn't know. Yeah, is that the investor wants to buy a majority stake, but as you can probably imagine, guys, Danny Boy and Enoch don't want to sell the majority stake because they would lose the power. That's where we're at with that.
And that is why they invested 35 million into the club today.
Lovely.
So you know that. Yeah. That bull shite from another channel just to fit. Oh, okay.
That's bullshit from another.
Yeah. Sorry. Go on.
That's bullshit from another channel just to fit an agenda. Carl, don't get us into trouble, mate. I'm not even gonna go there.
I think Taken was big in the arcade as well as on console. It was big up.
I don't remember Tekken in the arcade. Was Tekken in the arcade? No. I thought it was console only. Tekken.
Big up to Anthony Lynch. Great show. He says, I'm from Ireland, traveling to Tottenham a lot. Well, not till Levy is gone. I generally think Levy was sacking before the end of the week. That's why there are no silence. Do you know what? I actually agree with you, Anthony, on that. I think that is why.
Why wait until the end of the week, Anthony?
Come on. That's what I'm talking about, boys. That's what I'm talking about. Come on. Sorry. Just got awful excited there. Big up, Gerard. Sorry. Yeah, exactly. And then Taken said the first ever pod I ever started watching was Talking Sopranos. The first sponsor on their show was NordVPN, was Chrissy and Bobby, who are the hosts. Best pod out there. Big up to them. Big up to them. Tequila, look, where do you want to start, man? Do you want to start on the Hoffenheim stuff? Do you want to start on the bit of the press conference? Or do you want to go through the predicted lineups? Where do you want to start first?
I'll do the press conference first, see what count.
Okay.
I'll try to show respect, see what Ange
Ange did say this part of the injuries that Pape, Sarr, Dermot, take back, he's celebrating. Piss off Celtic, I won their lot. At least I got one team giving me joy. Pape Sarr did leave training today, but he's now out. Ange said Pape Sarr has a slight knock from the weekend, so he's out. He tried to train today. He's still sore from the weekend. We're hoping it's not something that will keep him out for too long. He has a chance for the weekend, but the turnaround was too quick. This was from Fabrizio Romero. Now, this sort of this sort of go against what we heard, what I said about Ange saying in the press conference that we're not buying anyone. That could be a ruse, by the way, to throw everyone off. But this is from Fabrizio Romero. Tottenham working on 2 signings for Postecoglou. They are working on it. Tottenham need players. After Kingsgate, they wanted to bring in Kulu, Manu, but as we know, he's going to Juventus, so that's not possible. The idea remains to bring in at least 2 players from now to the end of the window. Tequila, if they are going to bring in 2 players, where are you looking to think Tottenham should buy them? Where should they go for? Centre-back, midfield, or a striker? Where do you think we need them?
I think a centre-half / left-back who can cover that position. Who can cover a left-back and centre-half. Basically, a better version of Ben Davies, basically. All due respect to Ben Davies. I think we could use another body there. I also think we need another winger up front with both Johnson and, even though I barely class him as a player, with Werner being out as well. So we need another body, probably winger. Richarlison's back, but we all know Richarlison's made of glass. So it wouldn't surprise me if he picks up another injury before the end of the season and is out again, because that's who he is. That's it. He's become a very injury-prone player. So that's what I'd go for. I'd go for a winger or a wide forward, whatever you want to call them, and a centre-back / left-back. A utility player, I guess, a little bit, who can cover both left-back and centre-back would be my choices.
Do you know, as a player I would go for, Evan Ferguson from Brighton. He wants to go out on loan. I'd take a punt on him, you know. If
they're willing to, but are Brighton willing to? I mean, I was about to say a rival club, but they're so far ahead of us that we're not going to be a rival club, are we, this year? Let's be honest, for them. We're not going to finish anywhere near them, are we? So
he needs football. He's not getting it at Brighton. And you know, when I've seen him play for Ireland, he's always looked good. I like him. He's a talent. Evan Ferguson is a big talent, like. So Brighton did want to get him out on loan. So why not just go to Tottenham for 6 months? Make it a loan with an option to buy, or an obligation to buy, or a loan with, an option.
Didn't they want 90 million for him a couple of years ago?
But look, problem is, Tequila, right? I get what you're saying, but transfer money has just gone ballistic. There's players are going now for 50 million. They're not even worth that.
If it's an option, if it's a loan or an option to buy, then I'm okay with more or less any player to a certain degree, as long as it's not an obligation. Because I'm so fed up of us buying players for a manager, for the manager to go, and then the next manager not want the player or not utilize him in
the right way.
Which is exactly what our fullbacks are being, and just completely wasting our fullbacks, in my opinion, of course.
Right. So. I'm going to ask you a question. Are we in a state of limbo with Ange at the moment?
Yes.
Yeah. Is he a dead man walking?
I think so. Yeah. Even though I can't tell you when the button's going to be pressed, I can't see him being our manager at the start of next season. I can see him being our manager till the end of the season. I just can't see him being our manager. You don't think so?
I think if we lose against Liverpool, If we go out, if we lose to Hoffenheim tomorrow, lose to Leicester on Sunday, I think it'd be very difficult for him to be here by Liverpool. The outcry would be so loud for him to go, and it's loud at the moment.
I just feel like under normal circumstances, Levy would have pressed the trigger button probably late December. I would have thought, when we were so far behind the Champions League. The fact he hasn't, and he's lasted more or less a month into this, and we've continued to slip down even further down the league. That suggests to me that Levy doesn't care. And I said to you this before, that worries me significantly, that he doesn't care about getting into Europe anymore. This suggests to me that he doesn't care about it. So that worries the hell out of me.
Yeah, the board keep putting out, right? They understand because of the injury crisis, and we've got Mr. Levy up now. They're going to back the manager, but back him with what? They're not backing him with anybody. Is it just words? Look, Daniel Levy and Innick have confirmed long-term investment at Spurs as 35 million paperwork is filed. I mean, 35 million is not going to get you anything.
Not
to
anymore.
Be fair.
Not anymore.
They're trying to buy up more shares. So do we need somebody to come in and say, right, I don't care what you want. We're going to give you your ask. Say they want, say, 5 billion, right? Do we need somebody to come in and say, right, here's your 5 billion. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, but who? Levy's overpricing the club, dude.
Yeah.
You know that as well as I do. And you know what? He's allowed to. He is allowed to. He's allowed to if he wants. If that's how he values it. But I just don't think anyone's going to value it as much as he will.
Big up to Milton as well. Howdy, Dermo and Tequila. Hope you are well. To be honest, I'm feeling pretty confident. We won't be getting anyone, which worries me a lot. It does worry me a lot. Deadline day. Okay, we have now got the actual quote from Ange. This is the actual quote. When asked about signing, Ange replied, yeah, potentially. The club is working hard to get some help for the players. As far as I'm aware, there is nothing imminent, but in the last week of a window, things happen quickly. That was his exact quotes.
Uh-huh.
So that was the exact quote.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. Levy time. Remember? That's what it's called. Levy time. We always do stuff in the last day, so we always leave it to the last minute. Daniel Levy, everyone.
Yeah. Carl says, no, Evan Ferguson has been used this season. Hopefully I want proven. I get that. He's out with a foot injury. Big up to Adam as well. He is out with a foot injury at the moment. But I think he's a talent, right? He is a talent. Brighton won 100 million for him, for Evan Ferguson. I mean, players are going for stupid money these days anyway. Chilmere, a championship player, is worth 20 million now. Levy is effed as our owner. They were doing well now to ship Ferguson for 40 million. The whole club's in limbo. That, Carl, I do agree with 100%.
100%.
Yeah. If he's still here when they win the shots, Ange might as well stay pointless of getting rid of him.
Yeah, might as well.
Well, to be fair, Tequila, we did sack a manager 6 days for a cup final. So to Levy, it doesn't matter when he goes. When he
there's no point. There's no point. There's honestly no point in getting rid of Ange until the week of doom, or whatever you want to call it. When we've got that week, when we've got the FA Cup against Villa, we've got a semi-final against a second leg against Liverpool, and I think we've got a European game. I could be wrong on that. So that week in early February, I think it is, that will determine Ange's future at the club, I think.
We've got we've got a League Cup in the 6th. We've got an FA Cup tie in February as well, and we've got a European tie. So, yeah, the next sort of 7 to 8 weeks of Simon Jordan, 6 to 7 weeks, could define our season. And I agree what Simon Jordan said the other day, by the way. And I still like Simon Jordan because he does talk facts. He's been an owner himself, so he knows what he's talking about. And look, we are so desperate for success, we'll take it off anyone. But what do we do, Tequila? I mean, again, this window has been very. I know January's hard. That's the excuse they use. But surely, with all the injury, if you put all the injuries we have, right, and you're looking at a squad, you're looking at a manager who's struggling. Okay, and you're an owner, what is your mindset? Is that mindset is to help that manager, even if fans want him out or not, and you're not going to sack him? Your mindset's to help that manager, isn't it? To get players in to help with the squad. But surely we should have done that in the summer. Do you think that's where we failed? Do you think the summer window is a lot worse than what we give credit for because the outgoings were so good? Did that mask how bad the incomings were?
I thought we did. I don't think we had a very good window. I think we all said it. We said that the outgoings was high quality. We did what we needed to do on the outgoings, and I suppose whoever dealt with the outgoings should be commended to a certain degree because all of us wanted to get rid of Ndombele and players like that. But when it comes to the incomings, most of us said the same thing. Not all. I'm not going to say we all. Most of us said, "Oh yeah, a couple of these kids look like good. Where's the experienced players alongside them to teach them, to help teach them, to help them grow?" And we didn't reinforce, other than Solanke, we didn't buy any players ready for the first team because I don't think they expected Gray and Bergville to play as much as they have. And if it wasn't for injuries, they probably wouldn't. Well, Gray 100% would not have been playing, especially at centre half, if it wasn't for this massive injury crisis. So we didn't get the players we needed in. Then again, we never do. That's a rinse and repeat. That one, Dermo. Every window.
It is rinse and repeat. You're right.
Every window, we'll get one player who most of us will be like, like it was Madison a couple of years ago. One player will be like, yeah, okay, that's a good signing, and then we'll kind of skimp out on the rest. We'll never get the player. There will always be one or two players or one or two positions like left back, centre, left side is centre half or left back. We all knew we were short this year. We didn't even bother giving Regulon a squad number. Do you know what I mean?
And so look, and do you also think that Levy? Look, even Southampton, that they've So do you want to read that bottom bit about Southampton? Actually, I'm sure we can use it. I mean,
I'll ask him anyway.
But look, you look at our transfer window. You look at Levy. You look at Ange, and Ange is, saying I need players. Levy's saying, oh yeah, we'll get you players. What you want? We have got another bit of breaking news. So do you want to break it about transfers? Column. Tequila. Sorry.
Yeah. So basically, we have inquired for Tyler Dibling from Southampton, but they want they want 55. I mean, this has gone crazy, Dermo. They want 55 million.
This is the point I'm making. Transfer money now is crazy. It's ridiculous. I mean, you look at players that probably now Tyler Dibling, right? Boon number what? 15, 20, 25 million at that. And now he's going for 55 they want.
Ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, but they know we're desperate. That's the problem. We're a desperate club. We need players. And do you feel when Tottenham come knocking, they go, hang on a minute, they're desperate here? Or does Daniel Levy's reputation precede him for being a hard talker, for being a hard businessman when it comes to transfers? Do you think his reputation precedes him? And then as soon as he comes, that you're thinking, hang on, clubs seem back off because they know what he's done in the past like.
Well, they know Tottenham have a lot of money. They might not. They should know by now that Levy generally, he's a bit tight on that kind of stuff. But they probably thought to themselves, hold on a sec, these are the same guys who spent 40 million for Archie Gray. Now, Archie Gray looks to me like he's got a lot of potential, but it's still potential. And that was a crazy price for Archie Gray. I think when I think of a youth player or a young player, I think of Bergville for 10 million. Now that's a good deal. 40 million for Archie Gray. I mean, don't get me wrong. In 5 or 6 years, maybe he ends up being a £100 million player. I can't tell you that he will or not, but that is, I think 40 million for Archie Gray was a gamble. And also it set a bad precedent as well, so that now when Spurs, and probably not just Spurs, but when other teams go in for young players, look at, I mean, he's ended up being a world beater, but look at Cole Palmer. Look how much Chelsea spent for Cole Palmer. I know he's ended up he's looking like that's going to be a very good deal, but when they spent that money on Cole Palmer, who was totally unproven, it was like, wow. So what you're seeing is that basically, well, now you're paying a premium for potential, and it never really used to be that way, Dermo. Not like that. That's just what I think.
Yeah, I understand you're right in what you're saying. I can't argue against that. You're spot on. It's a good assessment, actually, of what we are going through, what we're facing.
And it's going to be it's going to be the same if we're after this Delap kid who looks very good. Again, it looks like a very good prospect. He's going to be 50 million. As crazy as it sounds, he will be. He'll be 50 million.
I don't want kids. I want pre. Look, Skriniar's gone to Turkey. We could have got in. It was a free transfer, near enough. And there's Ange screaming for centre backs. And
how long a contract did he sign? Do you know, for Turkey?
I don't know. All I know, he's gone there. And I'm thinking that's something we needed. We needed that experienced man at the back.
Yep.
And this is where I do feel sorry for Ange, that the club keep coming out. We're backing him. Backing him with what? They're not backing him.
Yeah, but maybe though. Maybe they are. But they are. They're backing him with time.
Oh yeah, that's really going to help with the squad.
Yeah, but it is still classed as backing. That's actually what I think they mean. I don't think they're going to back him with money. I think they're backing him with time, because in the past, as we all know, every other Spurs manager would have been fired. The fact that he's not been fired suggests to me is that is their term of backing him. We're going to back him because we're not going to press it. We're not going to be as harsh this time pressing the button. So that is their term of backing him.
I want to ask you, and I want to ask the chat a question, right? In the summer, people were clamoring for Poch to come back, for Levy to pick up the phone and bring Poch back, right?
Yeah.
Now, Poch is now taking the job at the USA, and I don't think he will leave that with the World Cup coming up the end of next season. He'd be mad to.
Yeah, it'd be silly.
But do you think Daniel Levy made a mistake in not bringing Poch before he hired Ange Postecoglou? Do you think he's the only one that knows what it is? The fans wouldn't, even in bad performances, the fans will give him time. They wouldn't turn on him because of what he's done before. Do you feel Levy made a mistake not getting Poch back? And do you think he's realized his mistakes and he's thinking, shit, I should have done that? Well, I should have done 18 months ago. Even though I have called Poch a loser, he didn't win us anything. But he did take us on one hell of a ride.
I mean,
he's the other manager.
Hindsight is 2020. It's like, you know, I don't think any of us, even the people who wanted Ange out in the summer, right? Because we did fall, because, you know, we had the first great 10 games, and then we did fall away. We did fall off. The second half of the season, we did fall off. But I thought that generally getting fifth with our squad last season, I thought Ange overperformed. Yeah. So I don't think there wasn't a massive. I don't think there was that big of a clamoring to get Ange out in the summer. No. There was still some, but not like it is now. So Pochettino, I think we did miss a beat of Pochettino because we'd gone through so many negative managers, with all due respect. Even though they are good managers, they were negative managers how they played. Pochettino would have brought energy. His teams had a lot of energy. We did play attacking football under Poch. And of course there was the love affair because, you know, he was such a loved manager. I don't think we'll be getting back now. I think that was the time to do it, and I don't think.
But he did have the best striker in the world.
Yeah, he did. He had the best striker. He had, and, you know, he had the best partnership as well. I mean, it is the most highest scoring partnership in the Premiership, isn't it? Sonny and Kane.
So asking that question then, with Ange as the first manager not to really have Kane in the side, right? Kane will get you always, what was it, 20 odd points a season with late goals for draws or victories or whatever. With Ange not being the first manager not to have Harry Kane in the side, is there a question to be asked that Ange does deserve time because we haven't got this striker to gain us these 20 points that we've missed, when Kane was around? And it also, did the club spend the Kane money badly? Did they do a Bale? Do you remember when we sold Gareth Bale and we bought 6 players? Only one of them players, you could say Ericsson or probably Lamela, were probably the only 2 decent ones out of it. Have we made that same mistake again with the Kane money? Have we wasted that money?
To answer your first question regarding and not having Kane, if I felt if we were struggling to score goals, I mean overall, if we were struggling to score goals, I'd agree. But that's not really where our issues lay. It's keeping them out that we struggle with. So, yes, you're right. He is the first manager in many years to not have that superstar striker. But we've still managed to score goals. So us scoring goals isn't generally the big issue. That's not why we find ourselves in the position we're in.
It's keeping them out. You're spot on with that.
Yeah. As for the second part, when it comes to spending the money, if we say we got 80 million for Kane, then if we say we spent 60 on Solanke, and then 40 on, let's say we traded Kane for Solanke and Johnson. It doesn't quite add up because Kane and 20 million and would more or less cover it. But let's say that we did that. Do you think that's a good deal? Would you swap Harry Kane for Solanke and Johnson in hindsight? No. So then it's a failure. But then again, I don't know who we could have got in, to be honest, with 80 million to replace. There's no one about where you're going to replace Kane for 80 million. Because we know that he's worth a lot more than 80 million, but we sold him when he only had 1 year left. Kane's probably worth, in today's market, if he had like 3 or 4 years on his contract, at least 150. As crazy as that sounds in my head, he is what he would have been worth that.
So if you look at all of Ange's transfer windows from the first one to the ones now, and you look at the first one where he brought in a few players, Paratici was involved in that. You look at the last summer's window where it was all down to John Lang and Scott Munn. You look at this window as well. The windows have been a joke with the incomings. I just feel, right, this is my own perspective on it. I feel we should have fought harder to keep Kane. And this has now been said on a few channels, by the way. Look, when Harry Kane was sold, you had the dilemma. Do you sell him and get money? Or do you take the chance and let him go for free in January? A bit like Sol Campbell. So you're sort of stuck between a rock and a hard place. Okay? Ange's just come in. It's another manager coming in. Does Kane then say, tell you what, I'll sign a year's extension. I'll go to next summer and we'll take it from there. Do you feel the club did enough or Ange did enough to try to convince Kane to stay? I don't think they did. You go on then 18 months later, we're down in 15th place. We've got all these injuries. We haven't got any players fit. Transfer windows of incomings has been woeful in the summer and woeful now. So did Tottenham have the question I'm going to ask you, Tequila, is you sort of foresaw this a little bit. You said it to me about 3 months ago or in the summer, actually, and where you said to me in the summer, Dermo, this is an awful window. Incoming. Yeah. You saw this before the season started. We were going to struggle, to be fair. You said our defense is going to struggle. You did say that to me. So do you think...
Not to this... I didn't think it'd be to this level, though.
I know you didn't think to be this level, but the point I'm making is, can you understand why I say our transfer window is a joke? Because it isn't just this window. It's every window under Nick and Levy. You look at the 3 windows, we didn't buy anyone. You look...
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm not arguing that case. I actually don't think this transfer window has been a joke because, as Carl Simpson put in the chat, we're in such a point of limbo that if I'm Daniel Levy, I get the feeling he doesn't know to stick or twist. It's like playing a poker game. He doesn't know to stick or twist because he can't fully back Ange because he has to know that should we drop a couple more games, he's got to pull the trigger. He's got to. I don't think we will because we're going to start getting these players back, and I think we will slowly go up the league a little bit. But as of right now, he can't. He's got to do loans. He can't go and buy players permanently because who's he buying the players for? The next manager? It's such a bad situation to be in at the minute, Dermo.
It is. Can I ask you I want to ask you a hypothetical question, right? This is only hypothetical, right? If Ange stays, right, and he starts next season as our manager, right? This is hypothetical. What do you want the club to do next summer when it comes to the transfer window between now and the start of next summer? What do you want the Tottenham recruitment team to do? Do you think we need Paratici back at the club to take the reins again? Yeah. Do you feel Andrew will then be properly backed if he's manager for next season? If Levy says, do you know what? You've had a terrible year with injuries. You've had no luck at all. We'll go for again next season. This is hypothetical now.
It depends on the board, though, mate. It depends. I mean, we hear what the board is saying officially, right? The official stance is kind of like, and we've heard this a little bit from our source, that it's kind of like, they understand that times are tough right now with the injuries.
Yeah.
So if they really do believe that, and they believe that this is a freak accident or just a freak occurrence, and that Ange is not culpable for this, which I don't go with that, but this is not what I believe. If that's what they believe, then they're going to continue with their project. So I would expect probably more youngsters coming in with one or two maybe older players. I would hope next year that they would understand that. Ange has said in some of his press conferences that maybe he does realize now a little bit. He said something like, not in the one for Hoffenheim. This was a couple of weeks back. He said something like, "Oh, I realized that I need some experience or something." So if he really realizes that, then hopefully he's made that clear to the board. So should he be our manager next year, that he can get through to the board, and will they listen? Well, that's another story. But say to Levy, well, I know you love buying these young players so that you can sell them on later on, which is the reason that I 100% believe why we buy young players is so that we can sell them. So if that's the reason why, then we need to get some experienced players in. But I'm sorry, Dermo, I'll believe it when I see it. It's not what Levy does. Levy never has.
No, I know that. I get that.
Levy does not buy Levy does not buy these players who are 28, 29. No. We don't do that. We never have.
And then, so really, in all hindsight, before we move on to the Hoffenheim game, and we'll go through the predicted lineups, and we'll go through the bits of news before that game, and we'll get your score prediction as well, and put your score predictions for the game in the chat as well, guys. Look, on the end of this first part of the show, right? So if we're saying, we sort of come around full circle that we know Levy's the problem. We know Enoch are the problem. We know they're the ones that are holding us back. Does it matter what manager's in the job? It doesn't matter if it's Ange, Poch, Mourinho, Conte, Nuno, Harry Redknapp, whatever. Since somebody put in the chat the other day, it's like we've gone full circle from back for now to 2001 when they bought the club, and they sacked George Graham and brought in Glenn Hoddle, to appease the fans. Go on,
mate. I was about to say that.
Sorry, go on. Sorry.
Go on, Dermo. I'll be quiet.
No, go on. You go.
No. You continue it. I'll come in later.
And then they sacked Martignol at halftime, and then they didn't back Poch. So surely they're the problem, not the managers, not the players, Yeah, they have responsibility for performing badly. Ange has to take responsibility for how he sets us up and not, adapting to stuff. That I get. That I do agree with, and that you can park to one side. But if you're looking at it from a football club point of view, from backing managers, transfers, providing them with the money to buy players, providing them with the right funds to build a squad capable of competing, then surely the problem for the problem all the way along has been Daniel Levy and Enoch. Am I wrong to say that?
I wouldn't say you're wrong to say it. I think most people. I think that the people who are Levy in or Enoch in, and these terminologies and everything, I think that they're getting less and less. I do think there is less people that are Levy in, because every year adds more and more. It's like going on trial. It's like building evidence right for a trial. So every year that this goes on, more and more evidence builds up for why these guys have not done a good job on the footballing side, right?
Yeah.
So every year that goes by, we more and more evidence. So it gets so the Levy inners, it gets harder for them to. Their argument becomes much difficult the longer this goes on, right? So when it comes to the managers, I agree with you. Most of the managers are handicapped by the board. I think the problem with Ange is that he, with his resources, he probably should still be doing better. There's a world of difference between being 8th and 9th and we might get into Europe while we're battling for Conference League, and being 15th. Because Dermo, I mean, we haven't been 15th since like the late 90s, dude.
Yeah, I know. I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just trying to, and I think look, if you look, you're entitled to your opinion as well. Your opinion will be respected. If you come into the show and you leave in or Landon, you will be respected and welcomed and listened to. Do you know? And that's one thing I love about this channel, Tequila. You and me will respect anyone's opinion, won't we? Within reason, as long as they're not nasty.
As long as they show us the same respect back, then yeah. Of course.
Oh, I want something to get behind. That's the problem with me with Ange at the moment. I want something to get behind. If I can see some progress and something to get behind, then maybe that might give us all a bit of hope. Look, if we beat Liverpool and get to a final, we're all going to be cock-a-hoop, like. Do you know, we will be celebrating. But no, I think you're spot on in your assessment, Tequila. I think you have been spot on for quite a long time. To be fair, you look at Everton, I think you're right, we shouldn't be 15th, but I think Levy and Enoch have to take a hell of a lot of responsibility as well.
Yeah, and I think they do. If there's people who just blame the manager and don't blame the owners, I don't really understand that. The manager is culpable and should take the blame for what he does. But let's be honest, if the owners would have done a better job in recruitment, he probably wouldn't be doing quite as badly. So it's a give and take, Dermo. There is no, they've all and so does the bloody players on the pitch as well.
Yeah, they do. You look. If Poch was backed, would we want a trophy on the Poch? I think we would have done. I just want to welcome a few more people in. Big up to DJ Samo. DJ, hope you're well. Email us. Let us know how you're getting on, man. Big up to Gerard. Said Demo. I told you last July. See, this is Gerard now telling me off now. I told you last July that incomers were a joke, and we were being dogfight. Do you know what? You're spot on, Gerard. You are the prophet of this channel. So can me and Tequila have the lottery numbers for Ireland and England? And could you tell us who's going to win the 350 at Kempton tomorrow?
Yeah, tell us and then we'll buy Spurs. Do a better job.
Yeah. And we'll put you in charge, Gerard. Peter says 2nd, 4th, 7th, 12th is also Rants. Fair point. Big up to Anna Dawes. Big up, Anna. Evening, guys.
Big
Chat.
up,
Sorry for lateness. Stupid. Never be sorry. You're here now. You're here now. That's all that matters. That's taken said. Gray will be the better ROI than Richarlison. I agree. 3-1 to Hoffenheim. Is that 3-1 to Hoffenheim?
Yeah, we've gone for the same score.
I can't back against me on team. I'm sorry, Tequila. I can never do that.
I'm not backing them. It's a prediction. It doesn't mean I want it to happen.
No. I'd like to see Poch back and see what he does without Kane and Son. It would be interesting, actually. Cheers taken. I'll tell you what, we're going to stop that. Now we're going to, oh, here we go. This is Anna's. My current fit. Do you read this, Alan? Go on.
My current feelings, Levy and the board, are sticking with Ange. So shouting Ange out is pointless. For the anger for bad results now need to be aimed at Levy from now. I understand what you I understand what you mean, Anna. I mean, like I say, I think the blame, to use the blame cake thing, I think there's plenty of cake to go around.
Yeah. I think the biggest lie should go to Levy and the board. Look, Ange deserves criticism as well. Tactics, substitutions, I get it. He does. Every manager deserves, and I get that's where Tequila's coming from. But look, for me, I think it's about time the board. Sorry about that. I don't know what Mrs. Tronner's doing upstairs. I don't know what.
Big up Peter for gifting one.
Okay, sorry.
Membership.
Did you get a membership? Go on. Who did we get?
Hang on. Let me see.
Sorry,
Roundtable Talk got the membership. So if you're in the chat Roundtable, say a big thank to Peter, and thanks again, Peter, mate. We appreciate any support. Thanks, bud.
So big up Anna as well. That was a great point by Anna, actually. But to be fair to her,
yeah, Anna knows her stuff.
She does. She's clever. She's and it's nice. I like it. We have more female fans, and he's gifted another membership as well. And do you know who's got it? Do you know who's got it? It's Anna who's got it.
There you go. Just as we were saying.
Yeah.
That was the RNG gods were listening.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Peter.
Yeah, the THFC Till I Die gods were listening to Tequila. He was there praying in the background to the THFC Till I Die God. That's why Brendan Rodgers told Levy where to go. Right. Do you want to go and talk about Hoffenheim? Do you want to do the predicted lineups, or do you want to go through the match details? What do you want to do first? Predict lineups?
Do the lineups, yeah. Why not?
Okay. Well, these are the lineup, guys. This is Carl's lineup. Now, you and Carl are near enough the same, aren't you, really? So, Carl has gone for a 4-2-3-1. Austin, Porro, Dragosan, Davis, Gray. The midfield tree of Bentancur, the return of the Uruguayan general, Bergville, and Madison. And up front, we've got Kulu and Son on the wings, Captain Fantastic, and Richarlison up front. Rating out of 10. I'm going to give this a 7, I think.
Yeah, I think I'll give it a 7 as well, Dermo. I quite like it. I'd make 1 or 2 changes, which we'll go into. That seems pretty solid. Hopefully Bentancur is. Do we know that he's able to play? Is he been cleared?
I think he was in training today, as far as I know. I do apologise about Mrs. Tron. I will talk to her about what banging she's doing up there. Oh God, I don't know. Staff, you can't get them these days.
Cooking your dinner. That's what she's doing, don't they?
Well, I don't know how she's cooking it upstairs. I don't know. Austin, does that worry you?
No, he was pretty good. So you can only go, he probably didn't deserve to be dropped, to be honest with you. So
No.
I'm okay with it.
Would you prefer him to Foster, by the way?
No. I see. I like Forster more than most people do. I don't think he's amazing. Don't get me wrong, but I do think that for him being the backup keeper, I thought he was quite good at that job. Austin's just been here so long, but he's been here since time began, as poor Austin. But you can only go on his last game, and his last game is pretty good.
He can. So listen, what would you change? Your predicted lineup. No, we didn't get yours done. So, do you want to go through your predicted lineup?
Yes, I'd more or less. The defense is the same, Dermo, for me, and the midfield is pretty the same. I'm curious to know. You see, I want us to play a 6. So I know Ange doesn't generally like playing a 6. So I'd put Bentancur in a 6, and then I'd have Bergville and Madison ahead of him. And the other change I'd make is I don't like Richarlison. I'm sorry. I don't see what he brings to the team other than him falling over and calling a bit, he causes a bit of trouble. Yeah. Other than that, which I'm not that big a fan of anyway. Other than that, I don't think he brings much. So I would put Son up front because he's still the best finisher we've got. And then I'd put Moore on the wing if Moore's eligible, Dermo.
He is. It's my
because he's youth player, right? It's because he's youth player, isn't he?
Yeah. So I'm going to give your lineup. I'm going to give yours. I'm giving yours an 8 tequila. I like it.
Oh, Carl's not going to be happy because that means I've improved on his. Carl's not going to be happy.
Oh well, Carl, do better. Do better. Do better than the key Cundy. OT Cundy, as we call them.
Carl's going to be raging in the chat.
Right. Hang on. Was it mine? This is my lineup. This is what I've gone for. I've gone for Austin in goal. I've gone for Poro, Dragerson, Davis, Gray as a back four. I've gone for Bentacle, Bergville, and Madison. And then I've gone with Kulu, Moore, and Richarlison.
Yeah, so more or less it's the same. We've all gone pretty similar. The only difference seems to be that. So you haven't put Sonny in your starting 11 at all?
No. I think he needs a rest after what happened on Sunday. I think he needs some looking after.
No, you may be right, but it's just because I know that he's significantly the best finisher we've got, dude.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't on Sunday.
Well, no, but hopefully that was a rarity.
Carl's not happy.
No, I didn't think he would be.
Look, my reasons for Davis at centre back, I think him and Draxton do have a good partnership centre back. They were together when we beat Man City 4-0. I think Archie Gray has played in that full back position because Spence is eligible for this game. Look, Mikey Moore, I think he made more of an impact when he came on against Everton than anyone, I think. So it's down to you in the chat. Down to you in the chat to rate my team. So it's down to you guys.
Basically, the only difference between mine and Dermo is that Dermo's got Richarlison up front and I've got Sonny. That's literally the only difference, really. So pick your poison.
So you down to rate it, Tequila?
You want me to rate it?
I can't rate my own, so you're gonna have to rate it for
me.
Well,
I'll give you a 7 because I'll give you a 7 because obviously, if you were to put Sonny where Richarlison is, obviously that's more or less the same as mine. So I'd give you an 8 like me. But because I just don't like Richarlison, dude, I don't get it. I don't know what he does. I don't know what he does.
Yeah,
that's just
and
me.
We've got a lot of chat to go to. We're really behind on the chat. By the way.
I know.
We're getting so many more people in the chat, so we do apologize, guys. As the channel's now reached the next milestone, the next level, we need to get used to chat. This is Column's team. This is what he's gone for. He's gone for Austin, Porro, Draxton, Davis, and Gray. So same back four as probably all back five as all of us. The same midfield as all of us. But up front, he's gone a bit different. He's gone with Kulu, Moore, and Lancashire. Now, I saw this when the column was in earlier. And he told me this lineup. I liked it. I think this one, I'm sorry to say, Tequila, it's actually an 8.5 from me. Just because of the front tree.
So you would rather have Lancashire than Sonny or Richarlison then? Because that's more or less, we've more or less all chosen more or less the same other players. It's just that one player up front. I want to give Lancashire a chance. Don't know if this is the game to do so. I'm not against it, certainly not, because I want to see if the kid, I want us to go through, right? I know I want us to go through in Europe so we don't have the extra 2 games because we really don't need the extra 2 games. So Lancashire for me is a player who I'd kind of bring on. I'd start with Son. I'd get the lead, 1 or 2 goals if possible, and then at the 60 minutes or so, you bring Lancashire on once we're in a safe position. Very difficult for us to do that, Dermo, because we're so shit at the back, to be honest, that we rarely find ourselves in that having that 2 or 3 goal buffer.
No, I agree with you. I agree with you. Right, so I'm giving that 8.5. What are you giving it?
I'll give it a 7. I actually prefer that over Richarlison. Sorry.
No,
Carl.
I agree with you. I think it's a good look. I'll give it an 8, so you two are equal. I won't give him one over the other.
I give it a 7 because I give it a 7.5 because I'm not saying Lancashire is a better player than Richarlison at this moment in time. It's too young to know, but I don't see Richarlison as a good player, so it doesn't have to be a massive step up for Lancashire. I just don't know if this is the game that I'd start him in. That's because I just want us to go through and not have the extra games.
I agree. I get it. And I think Lancashire, for me, I think Ange should have used him a bit more. But I think because he got sent off in that European game, was a question mark over his mentality. With him getting sent off, and could Ange trust him? But I think we should have used him a lot more. Like we should have brought Ashley Phillips or used Dorrington. I think there's many plays.
Why didn't we use him? Why didn't we use him against Tamworth? I'll never understand that. We're not going to play on paper anyway a weaker team than Tamworth this season. Why didn't we start with Lancashire? What you bleed him in then? Perfect opportunity for it.
Perfect. Big up to Carl. Yes, Bentacle is cleared. 350. A Kempton winner is leave them alone. That was the winner at 350 today, Kempton. Big up to Kate and Jim, the posh and bets of the YouTube community, as I like to call them. Big up. She says, big up Dermot and Tequila. Big up Kate.
There you go.
Anna says, I can see Madders on the bench again, and Bentacle may be rested. Biss and Bergfield to start. Well, Biss is injured, sadly.
Or
not. I think Bentacle is finished. He has never get his form back. We first signed him in 2022. Big up to Mr. EE as well. Big up, he says, hey Dermot and Tequila. Big up City are 2 up against PSG. Taking you kidding me, not another hamstring. Yep. You're welcome, Anna. That's Peter. Chill Music. I've been told that Spurs are willing to spend 100 million in January to support Ange. The players need to fit the idea of the club and strong growth potential.
100 million. Okay,
yeah.
I believe that when I see it, chilly, bruv.
Yeah. I heard the journalist writing tech article Tory's hamstring too. What the F is all that about? Proof Tequila is better than mine. It's completely balanced.
Because Richarlison is rubbish, Carl.
No, it's because Tequila paid me more money than you. There you go. Yeah. See? You just, by the order of the THFC...
Bros before hose, man.
Now, hang on. By the order of the THFC till I die blinders.
See, me and Anna are on the same page. There you go. See,
yeah.
Me and Anna are on the same
I don't rate Richie. Never have. Not considered. I've always said Richie is a big fish in the small. He was a big fish in a small pond at Everton, but he's a small fish in a big pond at Tottenham. Do you get what I'm getting at? If he was to go to Southampton or he might even go back to Everton. The David Moyes back there. I could see him going back to Everton.
I think he was at his best at Everton, probably, and I'm guessing we signed him because of his form at Everton. But was he ever this injured? I don't think he was ever this injury prone at Everton.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. No, he wasn't actually. We are Tottenham TV has let me get my teeth in. We are Tottenham TV have as the headlines for the next live show: Tottenham eyeing up Jack Grealish. Why would Jack Grealish even consider Tottenham unless it is in his worst nightmare? You never know.
It's just to get game time, I suppose.
Yeah.
I can't give you a great answer why he would come to Spurs, mate.
No, he's just great. He's just scored tonight as well. Kyle Walker's ended up at AC Milan as well today. Tequila, by the way.
Has he gone to AC Milan? That's actually. Okay, so that's a big bloody club.
It is.
AC Milan. He's gone from a big club to another big club, man.
I taken just playing as I'm a Spurs fan. They have made me go.
There you go,
crazy.
Dermo. How about this? How about this? He's gone to a bigger club because AC Milan are a bigger club than Man City. How about that?
Ed M says, I'm a column. Son desperately needs a rest. Richarlison is restarting with his injury history. Do you know, I think a lot of people are agreeing with some of our lineups. I am just going to say, Carl, don't go. You're great crack, as we say in Ireland. Yeah, it is. He is great crack. What we've got here. Oh, God, so many people. Sorry. We do apologize. We're so behind. We're hopeless, aren't we, Tequila, at this?
No, we're just talking. We're just drowning our sorrows and letting you guys get on with it.
Yeah, but we still like to get you involved. That was a great shot. All talking about
here's a good chance. Here's a good chance to plug stuff there. Here we go. But if you want us to read out your comments, then please give us a super chat. There you go. Look at that.
Gets you to the front of the queue. Also keeps Tequila into the.
I'm such a shill, Dermo. I've become such a shill. Such a shill. Yeah,
I know. We're also the super chat does keep Tequila into the lifestyle he's come accustomed to. I mean, he does ask for orange M&Ms before every show. He's such a diva.
I need grapes. Grapes fed to me as well by beautiful women.
See,
all of it.
He comes on and you think he's as nice as he's a bloke you can go down the pub with. Behind the scenes, he's a diva.
100%.
He just wants everything. You know, I've run out of orange.
You got to look after the talent, don't you?
Oh, yeah, of course we do. Right, guys, let's get into the crack for it. Last bit of the show, guys. Roundtable says, thanks for the membership. I think it was Peter that gave it to you.
It was Peter, yeah.
Big up. The time and date is a 5:45 kickoff tomorrow, of course, at the venue at the Peserizo Arena. We are away to Hoffenheim of the Bundesliga. Of course, it is going to be our second to last game in the Europa League. We have played German sides 19 times in total, 2 East Germany. So when Germany back in the day was split between East Germany and West Germany before the Berlin Wall came down in 1990. Now, a lot of you in the chat weren't even around then. So if you're not sure, go and ask you.
I remember watching it on TV. Yeah.
That's it. I'm cancelling my subscription and unsubscribing my 1,000 bugger. The first time we played the West German side back then was in 1974, the year we reached the final and lost the final. We placed FC Cologne. Is that Cologne?
Yes.
So, yeah. Then we beat the East German side in semi-final the same year, and then we played some Germany side, which I cannot pronounce, in 1999. The first time we played them as a united country. Germany in total, we've had 8 wins, 3 draws, 8 defeats, 23 goals scored, 28 against. So we've got a minus goal difference of -5, a 50% win record against a German sides. This is the league table. This is where Tottenham are in 9th at the moment, but we're on the same points as Rangers. Then Man United and Frankfurt are on 12, 13. Then Frankfurt, Galatasaray, Olympic Lyon are on 13. And Elector on 14, but Atletico Bilbao and Galatasaray both played 7 games. They've both played 1 more game than us. So tomorrow night is quite important. We get a win tomorrow night, Tequila. You look at that league table. We need Man United to do us a favour against Rangers.
Yeah,
I think we should qualify. I can't see us not get. We should get in that top 8. If we'll win tomorrow night, I think that would take the pressure off, won't it?
Well, it's one of the reasons why I was kind of like play Sunny over Lancashire is because it just makes a lot more sense for us to go through tonight rather than we don't want to go into the playoffs. We really don't need the extra 2 games. We really don't.
We really don't.
Hoffenheim, where are they in the table, dude? Where's Hoffenheim?
They're down in 23rd place, I think.
Right,
they're
so
really having a woeful season.
Okay, so they're not exactly putting up trees.
No.
So I don't know. It's hard for me to. I mean, we'll get to the predictions in a sec, I guess, but it's hard. We're going to let in a goal, Dermo. We're going to let in a goal.
Yeah, I think so. But do we need Man United to do us a favour, though, tomorrow night and beat Rangers? If we can get a win tomorrow night and Rangers lose.
A draw would be good.
Yeah. But we need to win.
If you're listening, Com, can you please organise a draw? Thank you.
Yeah. These are the injured players. We've got Fakari out with the ankle. We've got Destiny out with the hamstring. We have Van der Ven out with a hamstring. I couldn't remember what Johnson was out injured. I think it was his knee. Werner's out with his hamstring. Solanke's out with his knee. Odegaard's out with his hamstring. Now the doubts are Romero, who started training today, guys. He's back in full-time training.
Good.
We know now. When I was doing this, it was a doubt. We know now Papa Sarr is out, and Bent and Bissouma is a doubt as well. Eligible to play, it's Kingsley, Jed Spence, Reglon, and Yang.
I tell you what, Dermo. I bet you Andy's kicking himself not putting Spence in that team, considering that Spence
I say
has become one of our better players this year. He's kicking himself not putting that player in.
I say he is. Now, this was my predicted lineup for the predicted lineup show, which shows again how I'm doing. But that is what we're gonna do. But guys, that is it. That is the show tonight.
What's your prediction, Dermo? Scoreline before. Ooh. Got to do scoreline.
Do yours first. I won't think of mine.
I can't remember. I think it was Chile who'd Chill Music. You said 3-1, so that's why I had as well. Yeah, 3-1 to Hoffenheim though. That's why I forgot. I do.
Do you know what?
I do. I just think. Well, this is how depressed I feel about Spurs. That even though Hoffenheim seem quite rubbish themselves this year, I've lost faith. I have. I expect us to just lose every game now.
I'm not. I'm going for a 4-0 win.
You're crazy, Dermo.
I am crazy.
We never keep clean sheets, bruv.
I know, but look, everyone expects me to be delusional. I am.
Yeah, but at least give them a goal.
No, because I'm stingy like that. They're not getting.
See what? At least give them 4. At least say 4-1. At least give them a goal.
Oh, all right. To make you happy, I got 4.5.
How does that
to get a goal, but it gets ruled out by VAR.
God, well, that'd be that's pretty much every match, isn't it nowadays?
Yeah, no, look, I'll go for a 4-1 win. I think we're going to spank them tomorrow night. I really do. Let us know in the comments what you think. Put in the comments what your score prediction is as well. Tequila, thank you very much. Been a great show again. It's gone longer than I wanted it to go. But that's the joyful of more people in the chat. It's been good actually. The last couple of days, these shows at 8 become quite popular, aren't they? Actually, and it's lovely to see. We've got a lot more people in the chat. It's more. It helps us out, doesn't it, as well?
Yeah, and I think the time, us moving the time, I think has helped. And also, guys, you can kind of know that we're always going to be on at 8 in some form, unless it's a match day. Obviously, then that might be different. But when it's not match days, we're more or less always going to be on at 8, so you can kind of like get used to the routine, you know?
Yeah, and I just took yesterday off, so I do apologise.
I
forgot a day off.
I forgot about that.
I had to take a day off. I was
most days will be on at 8. There you go.
Yeah. Ed M's going for a 3-2 win for us. Yeah, that's it. Carl's going for a 3-1 win. Feck it, he says.
3-1 to Spurs, Carl. Dear me.
What we've got coming up? Well, tomorrow you got your match day facilities. You've got Tottenham team talks. You have the watch along, and then final score. Friday, what we're doing on Friday? Friday we are doing a show. I don't know what we're going to talk about. Probably transfer window. Saturday
might depend on how the game goes tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, it will be a post-match show plus any news on transfer. Saturday, we're doing the Saturday night show, and it is. I forgot what it's called. I do have the thumbnail already in one of the group chats, and it is going to be called. Let me see now. Which one did I put it in? Oh, I think I sent it to you, didn't I?
While you do that, I'll plug a couple of things before we head out. But thanks again, guys, for watching.
Where is it? Hang on. Yeah, we will get there. I forget. Anyway, it's a show. Kate and Jim are joining us on Saturday. That is for them. So please join in for us. Be on the 8 for that. Please do also sub over to our YouTube partner channel, the Full Time Sports Network. Also, do please hit a like and subscribe here as well if you can. We're on the march for 3K. Do also hit the like to the Play Pouch, which is now including myself and Column. So you see all the latest Play Pouch gaming news over there. So do give us a like and sub over there if you can. So do, guys. It really does mean a hell of a lot if you can do that. and also like here. But look,
We've got a
that's
couple of
enough for me.
shows on the Plough Play Pouch. I'll quickly shill it. Demo. We've
Yeah,
got
go on.
we'll be covering it tomorrow. We're going to try and work around the Spurs match, but there is an Xbox thing tomorrow for anyone who's interested. So we're going to try and do that. It will be maybe on an hour delay or so because it's actually literally on exactly the same time as a Spurs match, annoyingly. So we're going to be doing that on delay. And I think next week probably we're going to be doing a worst games of 2024 list. So there was quite a few. That's it, Demo. Just a little plug.
Yeah, big up to everyone. That has been THFC Till I Die. That has been our transfer window. It's a joke, and it's a joke. It's so funny. Tequila's now going to fall off his chair laughing
I've
afterwards.
got the Benny music already playing. You just can't
Yeah,
hear it.
we have.
It's in my head.
But Tequila, do you know what? Do you want to give us your famous outro?
I sure can. Well, I've got two of them now. It's like, which one do I use? Okay. Quiz. Lovely. So we are, mate.